Good hello, welcome to an onion skin stream. Today was going to be a big, exciting, bombastic event with lots of things going on, but then I realized it's like 3 a.m. in the world, like everywhere at the moment. So instead, it's just going to be a nice, chill one. I probably won't be speaking a whole lot, just animating away and commenting on what I do as I go. I'm not really expecting anyone to show up this time, but if you do, feel free to engage in chat away. I will be happy to converse. I see we've just got a couple of people, which, interestingly enough, surprise, surprise, because it is nighttime everywhere else, the only people who are awake are people I know in real life. Hello, Maddie and Greg. Welcome. Um, and yes, Maddie, my internet is fine now. I was going to do this yesterday, but my upload speed had dropped down to like 0.02 up. It was nuts. And now it's back up to about 30, which is nice. Very, very good. Okay, so um, rather than any like games or big interactive things, I think I'll give you a quick tour of what I'm working on here, and I'm just going to be chipping away on this in the same way that I would be if I was on my own. And for anyone who clicks on this and watches it later, this is something that I guess just to put on in the background to help you focus while you're getting your own things done. You know the drill. So this is what I'm doing. It's Samus. You know Samus. Yeah. But I'm practicing. Get away, golly. I'm practicing traditional animation because I'm no good at it. Allow me to demonstrate. Now, assuming that played without any frame drops, you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? That is simply stunning. Well, the twist is I'm having a friend who is very, very, very good at traditional helping me out with it, giving like very heavy critique and, actually throwing in like roughs and keyframes and things to really help me out. Once this is done, I'll be doing a proper video on it, sort of tearing it down and explaining how it all goes. But for someone like me, this is like really beneficial because I spent all my time in rigging and puppet-based stuff. So hang on, I'll quickly show you what I'm. A quick rundown before we do it properly. This is what I actually did. This was my first crack at this by myself. Looks like this. And then I'd be like, "Hello, please help." And they did this. Like, rather than doing any just like notes, it was like a straight up, I'm going to draw this again from scratch because basically that's how bad it is. I can't just give you notes to help you out, but there was like 3 pages of densely packed, here's how to fix this. Plus, I'm going to do a rough for you on how to sort of lay out some really solid key poses. And I was like, this is sick. Yeah. And I guess if Christian, if you actually happen to see this, then hey, you have an opportunity to critique live, and you see me actually going about my probably not very conventional practices when it comes to trying to pull off a traditional, because it's not very clean. But I've just been trying to tidy it up. So who have we got? Yes, everyone's just sort of saying hello, so that's good. Yeah, normally by now I would be happy to like be answering questions or helping people with their own like harmony problems or whatever, but I don't think we're going to be getting too many people tonight, so I'm just going to be cracking on with this, which I'm feeling a little bit nervous about because again, this is a huge sort of like just practice for me. I just sort of trying to embrace sort of failing at it. I'm really not sure how I feel about doing it live where it can be watched in post. So I sort of hesitate getting started in a way. Anyway, this is for one of those like reanimation collabs. It's for redoing the opening, no, the trailer for Smash Brothers Ultimate, how it like lists off that gigantic roster of all the characters. So it sort of needs to fit to the music. So I'm actually gonna have to cut that first bit where she flies out and then turns into the morph ball. So I'm going to be starting it from about here, where it is the ball, and having to spread out a few frames. So from here to here, I'm going to have to make up and figure out how is she going to come out of the ball. I'll probably do that first. Maddie says, I don't know, man, I'm a week and a half into learning cell action and I might be a convert. A convert to cell action, you say? I really would like to give that more of a go, but you can't draw in it. I've never had access to the program, so I really have not really much to say about it. Anyway, I don't know if I need to even pull up a timing chart or anything to get this movement going. I think I'm just going to put in just a blank in between and see what happens. Oh, geez, this is so embarrassing. Have I even chosen the right color? I have so many different blues. Oh, yeah, again, so to anyone who's sort of rocking up once this is all over to watch the full video, this probably isn't really a stream to sit down and just watch. I'll be breaking down this whole process later and turning it into a proper edited video. Probably even... anyway, but for the next stream, though, we will be playing some games and things, and it should all be very fun and exciting and interactive. I don't know how much time I just spent on mute by accident. Might have been a while. This bit's a bit hard. I think I'm going to move back to an easy bit. Learning sucks. Okay, I'm losing this cool bit where she goes into the ball like that. So maybe there can be a cool effect when she's unfurling instead, rather than it sort of just disappearing. You can do like a cool explode out. Maybe. Anyway, so hang on. Sorry, I haven't been reading the chat. What's going on? This was previously drawn and recorded. Don't be misled. Look closely. The way the person draws, they are using a program to retrace. Channel of lies. You hear the uneasiness in his voice. Exposed. My uneasiness is because I'm not very experienced in traditional, but the lines are onion skin lines. That's the name of the channel. Oh my goodness. So that's the red is the frames that came before, and the green are the lines that came up next. A good way to remember it is green is go, red is stop. As to, is this trace over something previous? Yes. I had some roughs that I was working from before. Where are they? Down here somewhere. Hang on, I'll just go get them. So these are called Christian version 3 because my friend Christian helped me out on this a lot. Where are they? Oh dear, it's very difficult to see now. So, oh, it's all over the place because I was tearing it apart to really study it. But anyway you slice it, yes. So I sort of like, I did my own animation completely raw, and then he came in and like really like just made it like, oh, just really, really good. And then I'm tidying that back up over the top as well and sort of adding in some extra frames and extra little movements and stuff wherever. And the next pass will be to hopefully ink over it completely. But this bit around here with the ball, I really needed to expand out because it sort of just needs to hang on that movement for a bit longer. And you can see there, like this is the bit that I'm doing like completely myself and it looks a bit lame. But that bit, where I had some help on it, is looking fine. I haven't heard anything else from Misty Wisty after the explanation, though. I hope that satisfies your concern there. Assuming that was a genuine concern and not just mucking around. By the way, although this is a very chill, laid back, not terribly exciting stream, I am more than happy to make it more interactive if you like with little drawing suggestions or things that, you know, draw blah blah blah, and they'll be like, okay, and then I can procrastinate from the task that I'm doing, because why the hell not? When I come to tidy up this bit, things like that hand is going to be tricky, hey? But I still need to get... Hang on. It just immediately is already in the skidding pose. How can that be cooler? I think it's like she needs to be very clearly like bundled up just here, right? So I guess if we like get a fist in there, elbow around, shoulders like that, perhaps that could be cool. Yeah, that'll work. But it sort of the first frame where it expands out there is very vertical. Like the ball is just sort of opening like this. But she needs to turn all the way around and be onto the ground. So I think might need to ditch this frame completely. And these bits here. And twist it around for... Do I need to ditch that completely? It at least needs to be like twisted. So that the ball sort of comes off to the side. Like around like that. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Help me out here. Okay. Humor me this, says Misty Wisty. All right, I'm ready. What's the name of your favorite ink to work with? My favorite ink, as in like physical medium. Okay, when I say traditional animation, I'm talking about frame by frame, because like my whole background is in rig based, like this stuff with lots of nodes and things. So traditional animation is still digital. I'm still drawing on a computer, but I'm just using frame by frame methods. As far as actually drawing on paper is concerned, I'm real basic. I just like using like black felt tip in a basic notebook. I don't do any like serious art on paper. I just draw. How is it a lie? He's literally live, showing his process. I respect him a lot, says Anzus. Am I saying your name right? Apologies if not. Thank you. And Misty Wisty says, "Don't start with me." Yeah. Don't start. It means business. Well, it's 2 a.m. I'm just asking a question, not trying to get into anything. I don't know. Nothing's getting started. We're all chilling. Hey Jen, how's it going? It's mostly real life friends in here. This is cool. I've prepared myself all day for your rebuttals, Anzus. Don't get yourself into it with me. Misty Wisty, I don't know if you're being for real, but you're bringing some spice to the stream. Everyone loves a bit of spice, bit of drama. It's like pro wrestling. Okay, wait. So someone's going to be twisting around here. I think by this point So I've already started the twist there. So by this point, we'll have the ball like really firing off probably around. So like have the edges maybe up here. And there's like a tail spinning around like that. That could look cool. Because it's like the screw attack, it's one of her moves. That's how Samus do. I do what I can. Good night, Misty Wisty. Thank you for your spice. Alright. This whole frame needs to go. Get out of here. Now, this piece shoots off down here. No, it doesn't. It moves on that arc, so it needs to be about here. See, arcs. It's like animation 101. How do you forget this stuff just because you're working in a different... Yeesh. It's like learning to drive stick if you've been an auto person your whole life. All the basics like indicating start to disappear. Alright, so the morph ball cracks open like an egg, right? Assuming all you guys are like familiar with Samus. Up around. That's suddenly too far down. That was too quick. So another question is, would we be able to see Samus right away, or should it just be like a sphere of light? Because she does sort of like dematerialize into energy a bit. So maybe here we could just sort of replace it with a sphere of light and just sort of... Oh no, it wouldn't be that angle. I don't know. Maybe it would be that angle. How do flares and stuff work? Like it would always be horizontal, right? Assuming that you've got like a camera, a pretend camera. Alright, let's see if it happens that way. Alright. I think that's starting to come together. Yeah. Yeah, I did it. I can animate. Jeez. I get so carried away on in-betweens though. Like a part of me is like, this needs to be smoother. But some of the best traditional guys I know, they're really snappy. Like they managed to put so much difference between some frames that it really shouldn't work, and it just does. Because I guess if you just got really, really super strong key poses, then the animation just works by itself. Alright. Let's get some of these proportions to be not terrible. Who reckons that animation softwares should make sound effects like in games that have drawing in them? Like games that have a drawing segment, like the brush and the eraser always makes squeaky sounds against the screen. That's great. Why doesn't real life do that? It's like how in sci-fi's every interface in the world, like people just log into their regular computer and everything makes beep beep sounds. Real computers are quiet. What a joke. We live in the future. This isn't the future I signed up for. It doesn't count until we have OSs with sound effects. What am I animating? It's Samus. Look. Look. Yeah. So it's for one of those reanimated collabs of the trailer for Smash Brothers Ultimate. And every time I show this off, I need to remind that I am not actually this good. This is better than I am capable of doing, because a friend is helping me out massively, and I will give a proper... Actually, once this is done, I'll put links and stuff into the description of this to check it out. But I'll also try and put the whole process together into a proper onion skin video, which should make things way cooler and more interesting. Because we're sort of just relaxing today. You know, open up your software. Do some animation alongside. Are you animating something right now? Send it over. Like we can watch it together. I love working alongside others. It's been one of the tricky things about this year is everyone's working from home now. So you don't get to look over at the person sitting next to you and be like, oh, how you going? That sense of being in the trenches together is all gone. Mighty says, I'm meant to be animating, but I want to eat first. Well, that's how it always is. It's time to be animating, but first you got to check every notification, watch every new video that's come out. Make sure you've done whatever you need to do in your Animal Crossing village for that day. Okay. Let's learn how elemental effects work by just winging it. This is a terrible idea. Just I know that brick flies off. Hey, look, it gets bigger and then smaller again as it comes towards the camera. Great job, dude. Okay, so that bit gets kicked off. What other pieces are there? That one goes that way. Also, that should be twisted more. Get around there. Then you go here, like this. I really like watching the process of animating our animations and learning, but I don't actually animate. There is something therapeutic about watching it. Ugh. It's probably more fun watching something maybe straight ahead or with a little bit more structure to it. I'm kind of learning as I go here and experimenting. I did a ton of different roughs before this, just trying to figure out what direction I'm going in. Like, this is probably the reason why I'm just sort of flipping back more often than actually drawing right now, because I'm just constantly getting my bearings. I'm going through the jungle with a machete right now. Greg says, I'm writing a behind-the-scenes blog post of a project. Can you tell us what that is? This frame holds for a long time. I wonder if it needs another in-between, or if it's best to just leave it still. I'm gonna leave it still. I don't care. I'm animating far too slowly. Oh, hang on. There's a glitch in there. Something with the cannon holds in a weird way. It gets really jittery. Ugh. Why does it do that? Like, it goes to the side and then goes down. Gross. What have I done? Is it because that's in ones? And then you come to the side. Oh, okay. I think it's just meant to be moving in a line downwards, so it goes up. And then down? What the hell did I do? Whatever the case, you go to the side. not like whatever the heck is going on there. Assuming the stream is playing without any frame drops. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I'm not quite sure what it is I'm seeing, but something is whack. I think it's just, maybe it's just that the full body is only seen here for 2 frames. So it's really, really, it just feels a bit off. So let's push all of that down 1. That's a key, so we'll hold that for 1 extra frame. The other weird thing is that we're not on the edge of the cannon. We're not getting to see the energy ball charge up. So what if instead we just grab the whole thing? Damn it. Grab the whole thing. Maybe pull it down here. Let's get rid of that frame, copy it, and pull it down just a tad more so that it can start sort of charging up. I'll do the same thing there, and all right, now let's get everything sorted. Probably sit it here. There. And there. All right. So now I want to have one more keyframe where it starts to open and charge up. This is one of the things I really like about this character is how this weapon sort of just unfurls. I think it's really cool. So I'm going to go in raw. With blank, whatever. And just open it up. This end piece in particular opens right up. So, I'm all over the place today. Grab you. Let's try editing it. So slice this. Maybe pull that down there. Grab that. Put all the way down here. You can get erased. It'll go down afterwards, so I'm just going up to the side for now. Then there. Close this off. Brackets in. And this piece, it doesn't stay put. It needs to sort of come out somehow. So would it be a positional thing or a scale thing? Let's try both. Like that. And there's one more in the background. It'll be like this and silhouetted. Okay, what other pieces would sort of expand? I imagine the barrel itself, you know, like it's got these springs in it, so surely that will move out, like there. God, I'm gonna have a rough time cleaning this up later, huh? This comes out to the side, that goes out to the side. Oops. Damn it. Connect that up. Erase this. Draw that in. That comes out to here. So now there's this sort of like energy spot in the middle where there can be lots of, I don't know, cool energy or whatever. How does that look? Ching, 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 ching. Cool. That's kind of neat, I guess. Should you get a hint of head for a frame? That's a good idea. There probably should be. Unfortunately, by this point, the head's like all the way down there. So it'll probably look even stranger to keep it, even though I agree. Perhaps the movement should just start a bit slower. Anyway, this opens up one more degree where all these pieces will shift down like that. It feels kind of weird just doing it with brush strokes rather than pegs. It's a bit faster though, because you can just grab what you need. It's funny, I'm so much less experienced in traditional, but I find it more enjoyable. It's less fiddly. You don't have to be digging through, you know, all of that. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. And then all of that. Let's move it out even more. Because transforming weapons are cool. Alright. Oops, I did it on the wrong frame. Damn it. Back you go. Hate to admit it, but I'm kind of missing having Misty Wisty here. I'm assuming they were trolling, but like, it was funny. Hello to anyone that's just arriving. I see you there. Welcome. I hope you are enjoying today's very relaxed stream. Ugh. I'm sort of experimenting over these next few weeks. You may or may not have noticed, with the kinds of streams and content that I'm putting out, just to sort of feel the waters. So feedback is important. To dislike videos that are not up your alley. That's probably a weird thing to hear from someone. I'm not going all in on one particular content type though. So today's stream is deliberately very lax. I'm probably going to do another one tomorrow morning. That's going to be quite deliberately over the top and a lot more fast paced. And if it works out, it'll probably become a bit of a routine. I think that could be fun. Oh no, a tangent. Can't have tangents. Tangents are bad. Tangents are these awful optical illusions that accidentally happen if you have two different things coincidentally but perfectly line up. You have to go out of your way to disconnect them. There we go. So they get to keep their dimension now. And this is going to be all like... yeah, with all its cool lightning and energy sparks and junk like that. That's going to be cool. And then she's going to be like... yeah, so it's very, very, very fast and zippy at the moment. So let's get everything positioned right. So maybe this first frame will just nudge that over a little bit so it's less diagonal. I think, you know what, sod it. I'm going to put in an extra one where it's moved down just a little bit, like that. In fact, that's already too much. About that much. So it's... no! Be straight. Stop being crooked. Be straight. Yeah. Naughty frame. See, that's not following the same direction. That's better? Man, I'm messing this up. Realign everything to before I go and deliberately mess it up again. All right. Well, you always do streams at like 12 to 3 a.m. for me. Yeah, I know. I was going to do a stream at a proper time yesterday, and then my internet just plummeted, and I couldn't. And it started working again. I was getting psyched. I was like, okay, let's do like a big exciting one. Oh, whoops, it's 3 a.m. everywhere else in the world. So that's why we're deliberately doing a pretty relaxed one now. Hey, maybe if it's 3 a.m., this is something that can help put you to sleep. But tomorrow morning, as in tomorrow morning my time, as in about 12, 13-ish hours or so, we'll do a bigger one. That's at a more sensible time for others. I'd love to see a stream about making very smooth animation. Cool idea. It'll be tricky to do for a stream though, because it's all about just plugging in as many frames as possible. I'm keen to give it a shot though. This is one of the first streams I've tuned into because of that. Wait, you prefer it to be at 3 a.m.? Oh, maybe I should take back everything I just said. I guess I forget my target market of animators. 3 a.m. is ideal. 4 p.m. is probably a bad time. Even if it's something small, I'd love to see your process. I mean, you're sort of seeing it now, but this is a much longer one. Very long for someone like me, at least, because I'm really having to feel out every single movement. I can imagine that once you get a good feel for this kind of animation, you could really just smash through them and have a good understanding of where everything should go at any given time. So that needs to go nudged down a bit. That needs to be nudged down a bit even more. Maybe I should have my onion skin on so everything doesn't just get nudged around everywhere. See, this is where pegs and tweening is useful. But I'm sort of digging my heels in a bit and trying not to resort to methods that I'm used to. Just doing it properly. Properly, as in classically. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Kind of want that last one to be on 3 frames if possible. If I nudge that out, hopefully it doesn't bust anything. Yeah, I think that feels better, don't you? It's weird how literally 1 frame is capable of making a difference to the feeling of the whole thing. Yeah, it needs that little pause. Likewise with like having that extra frame that's literally there for 1 to help kick off that movement. Okay, I think most of that movement's starting to feel pretty good. And we'll soon move into the really scary part of... and if there's any animators watching, I'm going to need your thoughts on this. Would it be a bad idea to launch straight into like proper inking cleanup on something of this quality? Or would you recommend 1 more pass of tie downs? Because like frames like that are still pretty damn loose. And I'm not sure if I'd be confident enough to go into inking without it being unusually stressful. You know, like cleanup is like the switch off period. Put it on a podcast and just trace. Just trace for like 40 hours. And if you have to think too much, then it just stops being, you know, cleanup can be soothing when it's chill enough. But if you still got to do a ton of flipping, what do you reckon? Help me out. Maddie, you know what you're doing. You've animated on productions all over the spectrum. Haunting Tube says, how to animate slow-mo scenes. Want to know about the frame timing. I don't really know how to answer that, rather than just sort of adding more. It depends on the feeling that you want. Because sometimes animating slow-mo is all about... You know how like sometimes there's like crossfades between frames and then they can get away with doing less drawings? That's a good question. It's one I'll have to get back to you on. I don't have an immediate answer for it. There's sort of slow-mo scenes in this bit. Like some bits sort of like does speed up and slow down for. I wish I could hang more time on moments like the cannon though, but this is going to be synced up to, you know, some Smash Brothers music and it needs to be a very precise amount of frames. And I tried to crunch in as much action as I could just because I'm really into fancy spinny scenes with lots of crash zooms and things, which is far beyond my skill level and biting off more than I can chew, but it's more fun. I think it would be okay if I started with the keys or maybe just clean up the messy frames. Good advice. Good advice. Have I ever used Storyboard Pro? Yes, I have. I'd really like to do a couple of videos on Storyboard Pro. Fortunate thing is I reckon I can cover most of the program in only a couple of videos as opposed to Harmony where I can talk about it for years and still have more to say. Maddie says I don't traditional either. Really? I thought for sure that you did. I don't think I've traditionally animated since uni, though I do plan on doing one again. Well, best of luck. Well, it's a good thing you're going into a production that's fully rig-based. Okay. So I'm still tossing up about... I definitely need to do more roughs on some of these effects. Like we got like some smoke coming out and whatever. I'm probably just being nervous about committing to it. Also, because I'm probably going to have to use the pencil tool to do it. The pencil tool can be scary. Well, I can do it in layers, I guess. Split off different layers for different parts. Okay, well, let's do the keys. I've marked out keys in red, so we can start with those. Put a new one. Drawing 3. Clean up. Shock face. Oh, I can't put colons in the layer names. Lame. All right. Oh, no, I made a mistake. I need to be set up with all the same frames and timing and stuff, right? So, cool trick. Roughs, I'm on like freaking version 5 or something now, maybe. Okay, so right click. Where is it? I haven't done this in a while. So I think it's no. Where is it? See, if this wasn't live, I'd just go find it and then edit it out later. But now, all 22 of you are just going to have to sit through this. It's not clone layers drawings only. I need something that creates a new layer, but it keeps all of the timing. I think it's maybe create synced layer, something like that. Yeah, add synced drawing layer, and then I can be like clean up, and then be like bam, and then I get a blank layer that has no drawings in it, but it has all the right slots in all the right order, and they're all like pre-marked as keys and stuff, and it's freaking great. And notice how they're paired as well, so if I like readjust anything, then it's going to do it to my rough layer as well, which is awesome. This is a technique that's often used for attaching, like assembling mouths in things in the rigging process, so like the tongue can be latched on with the teeth and the lips and junk like that. But I think it might have originally been developed for this purpose, maybe. Don't quote me on that. I think just keep redrawing until it looks good. I don't know. I don't know that when I do know that when I draw, Cries in traced the hair like 20 times trying to make it decent, then failed, and now is sitting there unfinished. Oh, I know that feeling. KV says, it's 1 a.m. here and I've got stuff to do in the morning. So I'm still here in 5 minutes. Yell at me to leave and I'll sleep. All right, we'll hold you accountable. But you still need to be like active in the chat that entire time for us to even know that you're here. Or you could just sit here in silence and we will never know. All right. Black. Is 20 going to be too... That's too thick. That's too thick. All right, let's try... Ooh, how much thickness variation do we want? I don't know if I'm skilled enough for it to be super thick. Let's try just a thickness level of 10. Start on probably that one. What is one of my favorite keys? Not that one. This one isn't even registered as a key, but that's probably my favorite one. It'd be a fun movement to start with, though. I feel like I'm being very naughty, though, if I sort of just don't really ink straight ahead-y in a way. Maybe that's even too thick. No, not 70. Jeez. Are you trying to kill us? Alright, let's try that. There's a decent amount of variation in there as well. This is a frame that's definitely clean enough as well. I need to be somewhat careful about how much... Where's my dang glove? I need my glove for cleanup. Too much hand gliding. I'm animating Samus. You know Samus. Everybody knows Samus. And she's gone spinny spinny. I'm all zoomed in. Sorry. Have a better look. Have a better look. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah. All right. Where was I? Were we doing this one first? We're doing that one first. We're doing the middle one. No, we're doing this one. We're doing this one. All right. What tablet do I use? This is a Wacom 22 HD. It's an old model. It's from about 2012. They are not really the standard anymore, but they're a funny old thing because they continue to sell. People still tend to like them, even though they are very, very old. I think for the longest time they just had a really nice balance of power, of just good value, you know, like power to price. Because for a long time, rather than updating and making nicer versions of existing tablets, Wacom would just make bigger ones, right? And a 27-inch tablet is just overkill. It is enormous. But the age of the 22 inch is really starting to show compared to, you know, like tablets have existed for a long time now. And these were invented like when the iPad was brand new. So the distance between the plate and the screen is really wide. It's like nearly half a centimeter. Very, very noticeable. The resolution is super low. The bezels are really big. But, you know, it's sturdy. It's still working. And working as an animator, I can't afford to upgrade to a new one. So I run all of my tech into the ground. I got a new computer about 2 years ago. And I only upgraded because the old one like just literally died on me. And I kept that one going for about 8 or 9 years. Greg says I disagree. My 22 HD is a bit too small. You are a background artist, though. So this is where I'm feeling a bit controversial about whether or not it's time to do cleanup yet. Because I'm noticing some things to fix on the way, like this notch here was misaligned with the mouthpiece. But that means now that this head bit is misaligned. But the... You know, like I placed that really deliberately when I was doing the tie downs. So is everything going to be messed up now? I don't know. I'm going to ink these 3 heads and see what happens. See if it looks garbage or not. Why did I choose a character that has so many freaking lines? Actually, something that I would remember on classic cleanup days, a great way to do it is to focus on not just a single piece at a time, but even a single line at a time. So like you just draw this line like that and then go to the next frame and then just do this line. And then you can check that just that one piece is animating properly like that. But there's so much action in this shot that no movement holds for long enough to really compare properly. I originally did shift and trace on the head to try and keep everything aligned. But, oh well, I'm doing this bit of cleanup on the understanding that I'm probably going to have to delete it because I need to pick up the pace. This has been very, very slow. But one cool trick, which you might have noticed me doing, is leaning on the shift key. Not many people seem to know about this, but it's the best feature of Harmony. is that when you're drawing, you hold the shift key and it does this. It turns into a temporary line tool. Then when you let go again, it goes back to drawing again. And you can just do that as many times as you like. It is beautiful. And I can hardly draw in any other program ever because that doesn't exist anywhere else. So drawing something like this visor, I'm just constantly, like you can hear my finger on the shift key, hopefully. I'm just bouncing on it like a trampoline. Just boing, 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 boing. Like even on like roundish bits, it's kind of handy to sort of keep things aligned because like, you know, like just sort of drawing polygonally like that. But the pen, you can set the smoothing to be like big enough that it will sort of ease it out for you. I don't know. What do you like? Don't worry about it. Whatever you feel. Okay. Where's the chat at? This is the thing I don't like about Toon Boom is that it only supports Wacom and there is a high chance that other brands don't work on it. Is that true? I don't know how true that is. Like surely Huions and stuff will work. Is this animating for fun or work commission? This is for fun. As I've stated a few times over the stream, and for any regular viewers, you probably noticed that I'm a very notey guy, very riggy guy. But for running a tutorial channel, I think it's my responsibility to have a bit more of an all-rounded knowledge in more areas that are not my specialty. And not being very experienced in traditional is something that, well, to be completely frank, a lot of insecurities about. A lot of imposter syndrome comes from it, would be a better way to put it. So the question is, do I practice it in private? Or do I sort of come out about it and, you know, be very frank and honest and sort of practice it in front of everyone? And then you can see all the wonderful and glorious mistakes and failure that happens. And I'll admit, doing it on a project like this is probably... like it's going to come across like I'm lying a little bit because, I mean, look at this. This animation's sick. It's really cool. But again, a friend's helping me with it, so it gets to look much, much nicer than if this really was just me on my own. Oops, hang on. I think I accidentally left the... There we go. Go away. I don't know if the night shift light shows up in the stream. Hang on, let's find out. I can watch it in my own little buffer window now. It doesn't. Okay, that was just for me. I've used Huion with Harmony and it worked. It has some problems with pen pressure, but eventually it would work. There we go. That's great. I think it's more of a Windows thing with the tablets. Like if it works with Photoshop, it should work with Harmony. Oh, but Koto PZ has a contrary opinion. Yeah, I've had a lot of trouble getting Toon Boom to work with my Huion tablet. And when I tried to look for a solution online, it was the same for everyone. Honestly, it wasn't easy. Okay, that's a very interesting take. Golly, I'm sorry to hear that. So, tell us more, Koto. Is it specifically a Harmony thing? Like, would you find that in Photoshop or Clip Studio Paint or whatever, a Huion works like seamlessly, and then specifically opening Harmony, it would start to behave weird? What kind of weirdness would it show? I had to restart my computer every time I open Harmony, says Cavi, with pen pressure. Wow, that's a real shame. I wish I knew what was going on there. All right, I think I might have to live with that thing being not quite centered properly. But I think I might be getting away with actually doing proper cleanup here, huh? There may be some odd inconsistencies in the final animation, but I really need to get a wriggle on with this project. I started it months and months ago, and I probably only spend a few hours on it each month. Ugh. But animating quality traditional is one thing. Animating quality traditional quickly, now, that's a whole other story. Does anyone know of any like good time lapses of some like really solid animation like this from start to finish? Like, it's really cool seeing people's roughs and things on Twitter or whatever. But what I'm curious about is how they get there. What order are the frames being drawn in? When do they put those like interesting shade lines in? Are they using the pencil like this, or do they use the brush the whole way through? I'm really not sure. Anyway, I should probably take this frame through to completion. Hey, got carried away on that helmet. So many large circles. It's going to take forever to try and draw a perfect circle. Yeah. For me, I didn't pick up the pen pressure at all, just for harmony. It worked well with everything else. Funny enough, it started to happen from harmony 17 onwards, but it worked well with harmony 16. Wow. That is interesting. I wonder if it's because the pen pressure has, like, rather than it simply being on or off, it's this minimum size parameter, and it sort of always works on a percentage relative to how big the brush itself is. Dylan Evans says, "What program is this?" This is Toon Boom Harmony. In the end, the only thing that worked was to set the Huey on tablet settings to game mode, which is a really weird solution. That is a really weird solution. What the heck? Anyway, for it being so late at night, there's a lot more people hanging out than I was expecting. I really was expecting only like 2 or 3, but we're hitting about 30 or so. So I might consider moving away from working on this in a moment. We can do something a little bit more interactive. So whether that be some dumb like drawing requests or a bit of a game in some way, or if there are other animators in the chat who have like specific harmony questions, or you know the kind of thing that I normally do on this channel, like just technical problem solving in harmony. Like if you have issues that you need solving, if there's a file or a rig that you're currently working on and you're hitting a snag and you need a hand and you want me to have a look at it, have a think about that. Feel free to post it, especially those who are watching who are not chatting right now. Feel free to get involved. TRY, long time, man. How you going? Dylan Evans says, "Is Toon Boom Harmony better than Flash?" I'm gonna put this up to people watching. What do you think? Do you want the subjective answer or the objective answer? Actually, Dylan Evans, I want to ask you more directly about this. Like if you're asking what I'm using, and you know, Flash to Harmony or whatever, I'm assuming that this is probably your first time here, and I would like to know more about your current thoughts, where you're at. Like, do you animate yourself? Like, are you a Flash user, or are you sort of like just getting into animation and you're wondering like what to use, what to start. Tell us a bit about yourself. And I'll be drawing these dumb jetpack things badly in the meantime. Yeah. I really need to set up a shortcut for the damn cutter, huh? I keep switching back to it. Timon versus Flash is like McDonald's versus Michelin Chef. I don't know what Michelin Chef is. I'm so sorry. Ooh, I need to think of something more exciting to do for the second half of today's stream. So far, we're not getting any requests, questions, or whatever. So I'll keep chipping away at this in the meantime. But again, asking you directly, Dylan Evans, assuming you're wanting to know more about the difference between Harmony and Flash, if you have specific questions, I'm happy to sort of like ditch this project for the time being and get into some of the meat of that. Or I should probably do something a little bit more exciting than attempting to trace this damn shoulder. Holy crap. How many attempts at this line is it going to take? All right. Calm down. Crisis solved. Everyone calm down. Are you calm? Okay. How about floor salami compared to burrito? Burrito is the best in the world. One thing that Flash is better at than Toon Boom is stroke with sharp angles. I mean, is it? That's pretty dang sharp. Whoa. But I mean, yeah, okay. Fair enough. I never use it. I think Dylan's gone. Oh no, there you are. Sorry, I missed it. I bought a graphics tablet and I'm looking into animation. I'm a game developer, but I want to try it. Okay, that is great information. I guess it might depend on what kind of animation you're making as well. But okay, the Cliff Notes is Harmony is the industry standard for film and TV. So it is sort of objectively, you know, the like most flexible and be able to do whatever you need to do in animation program. But it means it's also a like a premium software. It's quite expensive if you want to get all the bells and whistles. The cheapest version is going to do enough to get you by. It is at least equivalent to Flash. There's not really anything in Flash that you can't do in the baseline version of Harmony. Also, if you're a game designer, Harmony has a lot of features that are directly interlinked with Unity. They're things that I haven't personally explored a bunch, but if you're a game developer using Unity and you want to make animations that will fit with your game, you'll probably have an easier time being able to connect them together. Put a matte resize on that mid corner, it will round it out. Oh, really? Let's I probably shouldn't, but I'm wanting to procrastinate now. So let's do it. Let's do a mated corner with a matte output. Join. Meter. Bang. Oh, wait. Be sharper. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful sharp corner. All right. Render mode. I've drawn it too small. Output. Mat output, where are you? Where are you? Where'd it go? Oh, Matt resize. You said Matt resize. I was about to call you out for saying Matt output. 4. Ugh. That's a shame. Anyway, I took your word for it. I don't know why I needed to see it. Maddie says, oh, I have a question. What's been my favorite production to work on? My favorite production I've ever worked on was a pilot that never came out, which is a real shame because it was great. It's the real catch-22 of working on pilots, because you get to be there for where a lot of big creative and production and pipeline decisions are getting made, and you know the team's usually small, so there's a lot of camaraderie. It's really fun. But yeah, if it doesn't get picked up, you'll never get to show it to anyone, and you can never talk about it, which sucks. So yeah, I really like working on pilots. But yeah, they can't really be in your reel a lot of the time. So it's almost like phantom work in a weird way. Do I have any tips regarding rigging a character from regular artwork? As someone drew my character, but not with the appendages as separate layers. So did they draw the character like in Harmony? Like is it all vectored up already, or is it just like a drawing that you've imported? He says, wait, I found the person with start to finish. I totally have not been searching this whole time. Please, I don't think you can paste links into YouTube live chat, which is a real bummer. But please tweet it at me or DM it or something. I need something to play in the background while I'm mindlessly animating. Although weirdly enough, this has been a lot more productive. Last week's stream, I didn't get any work done at all because I get so distracted with talking to the chat. So maybe when I need to get work done, I will stream when it is 3 a.m. everywhere in the world. And then when I want to not get any actual work done, I will stream when everyone's awake. Oh, it's an Illustrator file. So it's going to be that vector art. Okay. So you're asking before cut and slice and fill in the rig from there. That is a valid way. That will work. However, it may actually be quicker to start from scratch and just like trace over it. It might depend on like the complexity of the character as well. Like if you can sort of get away with slice and dicing it. I've done that a lot in the past myself, just sort of like tracing over the reference and then trimming it up, duplicating it a bunch, blah, blah, blah. But I've been rigging for a long time now, and I feel like it's quicker to just trace over it and sort of approach it like premeditated. You know what I mean? Like you think about actively, okay, how many layers am I going to need? What pieces will move? Which ones need to be separated? Which ones need to be divided into their sub-layers? Which ones can be a single piece? It's bizarre how much of a different mindset it is to what I'm doing now. As in like this traditional bit. There's almost no overlap in in the skills. It's completely different, and it's all in the same program. It's wild. I like this hour, dude. It's 10:20 where I am. Whereabouts in the world are you? Rodriguez. And for Koto, it's 10 a.m. here. That's why I could catch the stream. It's a pretty good time for me as well. It's 9:20 in the evening. So I think that's probably why it works good for me to be like the chilled session. So maybe I'll mix it up and I'll deliberately do some in the morning, some in the evening. And I'm still actively thinking about the sort of genre of what the streams will be as well. Like there's definitely going to be this sort of more relaxed style, and then there'll be the ones that more involved. They're going to operate. I don't want to say too much in advance in case it doesn't work out that way, but it'll be almost like a show, like a there'll be like games almost, and they'll be very deliberately interactive. And the question is, will I do different streams on different days that are those sort of different genres, or do I even do like a mega stream that's almost like a variety show, almost divided into segments, where the first hour is going to be this, the second hour will be this, and the third hour will be this. I might give each one a go over the next few weeks and sort of see how you feel, and hopefully settle into a bit of a routine. Unfortunately, I've never really stuck with any routine in particular. I know that's probably not a healthy way to do YouTube, and probably one of the reasons why I've been doing this for like 8 years? No, about 6 or 7 years. And I'm still very much a hobbyist YouTuber. Whereas most of my YouTuber friends are making a living from it now. I'm just sort of spinning my wheels here. Yeah. It'll be an animated cartoon about The Witcher. Ooh. I've ordered the artwork specifically in a less detailed version, so I have more liberty with my butchering. Fantastic. If you need a hand at all, or like if you're hitting any snags, like these streams are sort of like a place to sort of get that checked or reviewed or help if you want. Because like sometimes it ends up being like a service that I provide to people. But if you're comfortable with any critiques or help being done publicly, then that's where I can sort of do that for free, because it will benefit many people. I think that would be cool. I haven't really done it yet, so you'd be the first if you wanted to send something over now, or if you're just getting once you've made a little bit of progress and you were wondering what's the best direction to take. Have you had much rigging experience before now? Like how dense have you made your rigs, and what style of build are you going in? Is it going to be like a 360 master controller rig, or like a standard turnaround, something more marionette like? Lots of decisions to be made. Oh, we're getting some more time updates from different people. So I could catch this stream because it's 2:20 a.m. What do you mean you could catch? It's because I'm talking to artists and everyone likes staying up super late. 11:20 a.m. in Berlin. Okay. Is that a good time? 11:20 a.m. in Berlin? Because I was thinking that's like workday time. So that's probably appropriate for this sort of stream, where it's like, okay, I don't want to be too distracted. I need something on in the background to sort of keep me focused. If I was being too entertaining, you wouldn't be getting any work done. Can't have that. Oh my god, I can't draw this damn barrel. Oh my god. Come on. Okay. 11:20 Poland, 10:22 UK. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Because when I started, it was 7:30, and I was like, oh no, that's too early, because like it's 8:30 in the morning in the UK. That's too much. But now it's 9:30. I've been going for like 2 hours, so it's slowly becoming a more appropriate time. I may not be able to stick with this. I'm pretty sure my design for the arm cannon actually changes halfway through this movement. Like, look how stout it is here, and it's got like this spike on the elbow. And then later on, when it spins around and we move up to it, look, the spike's not there. Uh-oh. Because the whole point of doing a fan animation is that you don't have to design a character from every angle and figure out their angle and expression sheets and stuff like that. But then, of course, you accidentally take liberty on the design anyway. Oops. I'm not getting paid for it. I don't care. No, that's terrible practice. I'll fix it later. That circle's garbage. Bye. It's 10:24 in the Canary Islands. I'm watching the stream while I work in class stuff in Harmony 2. Yay! That's what this is all about. I love it when people are doing their animation in the background. Feel free to share any of it, and I can play it here as well. EE says, if I get distracted by the sound of water in my fish tank, I'll be distracted from the live stream. Tiath, is that how I say your name? Tiath? Apologies. Man, I want it to be rigged to the last bone, as you do. But with writing, acting, directing on my plate at the same time, I can't frigging put the dedication in, so it'll be more of a marionette rig. Frankly, I think that's sensible. If you're trying to do everything yourself, you need to pick your battles. Super over-the-top rigs are done that way because they're usually done for the sake of a full series. You know, like for a music video, they're often not worth the time because they're only they're not going to get used that much. Like it's like with this piece that I'm doing here, like this level of movement, like spinning around and doing it, like that's insane. That would not, like, I know this is taking me ages, but like one, I'm inexperienced in this, and second, this kind of movement for a rig would just, like, although possible, it would take longer to build than it would be worth. Like, it's easier to draw it. So you're always wanting to put in enough work to the rig that it's actually going to save your time. And putting in every single bone and lever often ain't worth it. You're welcome to critique any part of it, to be honest. That's kind of the point here, right? Yes. Dude, you're the first one to get it right on the first try. You're the first one to get it right on the first try. Well, wait, are you talking about my stuff or your stuff? Yeah, man, I love the level of rigging in Final Space. It's uncanny how much detail they put into that. But you can feel it a lot watching the show. Yeah, there's a lot put into that. Very pretty. So the compromises you can make if you're doing like an online short or whatever is go for a hybrid rig or some sort of modular rig. That's where you can have rigged components that can be swapped out for traditional parts on the fly. So if you're storyboarding and scripting it yourself, then you can deliberately choose how much or how little extreme movements are going to happen. So maybe you'd have, 80 to 90% of it fairly standard movement that your rig is capable of, and then you'd have a couple of money shots where things just go crazy. And you'd sort of deliberately choose to have parts of your rig that can be swapped out for traditional parts. And then you can, do some flashier animation for just that bit. Or maybe you just scrap the rig for a few shots and go full traditional just for a few moments to make it look super cool. That way, you don't need to spend like a week building in all of these components for one shot that you could draw in a day or two, TF. Okay, so I got it right the first time. Sick. Hey, how long did it take me to ink that? Way more time than it was worth. And these damn jetpack things look weird. I'm really curious how janky this is going to look when it's done, hey? It's been so long. Honestly, I don't know. Jeez. Why do I bother? Here's an idea. Circle tool. Circle tool is too perfect. Now it looks clinical and weird, and I deliberately have to imperfect it. The heck? What? I have a classmate that animates mecha stuff like it's nothing. Makes me wonder how many hours he has put into practicing. It's insane, right? I've got a friend who does stuff like that, and I think his secret is that he just never stops. Like, I'm super impatient. I don't like how long animation tends to take. It ends up taking just as long anyway, but I enter projects trying to do something quickly. Or at least with an approach that should be fast. Rather than sort of just accepting the login and grind out attitude. It's a bit easier with traditional though, because it is a bit more therapeutic, or maybe because I'm still considering myself to be in that study phase. Light table, no. Onion skin opacity? Onion skin wash, where is that? Because like that green is too faint. Why is that green so faint? Did I change its color at one point? Get back here. Yeah, no. That is a sensible green. Now it's bright. Okay, I don't know what I did. Whatever. That's the problem, says TF. I ain't the one drawing. I'm trying to learn, but I'll never exceed storyboard quality. So I'm kind of bound by a one-time set of assets I need to get the most out. Right, gotcha. As artistically, I cannot add anything to the amazing artists doing the arting. Much like they wouldn't know what to do with the blank sheet in Final Draft, I guess. Well, I mean, if you're storyboarding, you are able to draw it all. And if you're going to be working with a rig, moving all of its different parts around, like molding a character is just another kind of drawing in a way. And often, when I'm working with a rig, a lot of the key poses need to be roughed out to an extent anyway. So, I wonder if a modular... sorry, I'm struggling with talking and drawing at the same time. Modular style animation where all you have to do is a bit of traditional on like a fancy arm and hand movement, or maybe some facial expression. You might surprise yourself with what you're able to pull off, because you've already got the base character set there as reference, right?
So creating new poses, like it's just tracing with extra steps in a weird way. It's kind of like what I'm working on here. My friend did a rough pass, which really laid the foundations, and it wouldn't be looking like this without that help. But now I'm at the stage where those layers are turned off. I haven't this entire session I haven't looked at those drawings. It's at the point where I've been able to sort of sidestep into the working with my own extensions and parts to it. And when I started, I didn't think I'd be able to do that. You're always in a study phase, lest you've clocked your 10,000 hours while it's trying to improve rather than sticking to your wheelhouse. 10,000 hours rule is dumb. Sorry. I don't agree with the 10,000 hours thing at all. I know people who are amazing who have put in way less time, and there's people who have probably put in more time into something, and they're still kind of It depends if your practice is, if you're just putting in active practice or not. Because you can do something for ages and just be spinning your wheels, you know? Also, do you have any idea how long 10,000 hours is? It's insane. You'd only be able to acquire like 1 or 2 skills in your life. And like, yeah, I get it. I'll probably never be like a master pianist or something. But it's interesting how good people are able to get in like 6 months. Anyway, yeah, like copying the existing artwork with the modifications I need, like angling that arm or adding those two whole eyebrows to indicate anger or whatever. Yeah, kind of like that. But like with copying drawings and stuff like that, just putting your own twist on it is not too different to animating modular. Like I used to do a cartooning class like 10 years ago with primary school kids, and a lot of it was just sort of like tailing to what they were into. Like kid would be like, I want to draw Mario, and it's like, okay, go print off a Mario, and then we just draw Mario together. I'd be teaching some 6-year-old how to draw Mario in style, and would be able to pull it off. So, I think anyone can do it. Yeah, that's what I mean by trying to improve rather than drawing the same rows for 30 years. Yeah. And then EE says best rows ever. Yes, I guess you would be able to draw the best rows ever. It's like speed running, right? Because like how that's like focusing in on one really specific thing and doing it over and over again. If I was to just do this one animation, and then when I finished it, I did the same animation again, and then did it again and again and again and again for 30 years. I mean, it's a catch-22 though, because like, yeah, this animation would look really cool, but would I be able to animate anything else? It's like when I've trained animators for a particular production, and I'll focus in on a very specific corner of harmony or of production or whatever it may be. And people will get really good at animating in this one specific style. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're primed and ready to go for something else. Oh, of course the 10,000k rule is dumb. It mainly says that you never reach perfection in a lifetime unless you dedicate your entire life to it. 10,000 hours is 3 to 4 hours a day for a decade. Far out. That's way too much. It's a concept I struggle with, though. Again, you might have noticed from the content of this channel, but I tend to be a bit of a generalist, doing a whole bunch of junk, not really specializing in any particular thing. And there's always that nagging thought of, would it be better to just drill in on one particular skill, and how good would that one particular skill be able to be in a number of years? So I guess when faced with that particular question, I tend to lean towards rigging before any other particular skill. But in regards to self-confidence and insecurities and junk like that, that bit of comparing yourself to others or envy or whatever particularly would tend to come out when working in a studio job and seeing over the course of a production all of the animators who get to spend 8 to 10 hours a day just animating and just like getting really noticeably amazing over the course of like 9 months or something. Meanwhile, your stuff stays the same. And it's just like, oh my god. So the weird catch-22 there with projects like this is doing this amount of practice in traditional even worth it? How much can one improve in just, in these little projects? Would I be better off not worrying about it at all and just focusing on the more riggy side of things? I don't know. I'm greedy. I want to do bits of everything. Get bored otherwise. Because if you haven't noticed, animation's really time consuming and it gets boring. Things need to stay exciting. But you know what never gets boring is the dang cutter tool. Man. Look at that. It's so freaking satisfying. Get out of here. Koto PZ says, or is it Koto PZ? We have issues with our school program because we have just 1 month to plan the entire pipeline of an animation project and carry it on from start to finish. Is it crazy or are we being lazy? That's a really interesting question. We have issues with our school program because we have just 1 month to plan an entire pipeline of animation project to carry it on. But what's the project? Like, is it like expand? Like, if it's a short film, yeah, you could plan a pipeline in a month. I feel like I've seen whole series get their pipeline sorted out in that amount of time as well, but there's more people involved. But then again, I would agree with you that I think that can be a problem, is decisions for pipelines and things being made way too quickly, not really taking into account what problems might appear later. And then, it's the poor animators at the bottom that have to deal with those consequences when things start getting weird. I don't know if I can be bothered doing that frame. Okay. I think that's probably enough of this for today. I probably should have been flipping more while drawing those frames. It's going to be a bit wiggly in places. Golly, that took ages just to do like 2. At least it wasn't too hard, and it looks alright. I reckon it's something I should sort of just live with, and then once it's all finished, I'll come and critique it properly. But this stuff is a problem. What is that? What is that? What is that? Oh my god. Okay. That's enough of Samus now. Let's move into a new segment. We need to do something else. Something a bit more live. We've been consistently hovering at about 30 viewers, and I'm not giving enough excitement. It's getting a little bit later in the day. The people in Britain are starting to wake up. America's still asleep. But we've got lots of Europe. So what can we do? I've got games and stuff planned for tomorrow, but we need to do something a little bit more fun for now. Should I do a moot? Did everyone see the bird one that I released the other day with that automatic swinging bone thing? Moot time. Maybe I should do a quick live moot. You must stop the playback in order to add or remove frames. Okay, thanks for that. I've never had that message before. It's not playing. Don't give me that error. What the hell? What's going on? Okay. Jeez. Stop. 40. What the heck is happening here? Scene length. 500. Yeah, there we go. All right. Now, let's make something dumb. Make something dumb in like 20 to 30 minutes. Can we make something fast? Something goofy? Maybe it should be another Samus, but I animate it in a really dumb way to be as fast as possible. Maybe I should do another Magnemite in a way that isn't going to take days and days to make. I'm really curious as to how YouTube even shows and presents the streams. I have a feeling there might be a bunch of people sort of passing through who are not regular viewers and probably even wondering what this is all about. But suggestions, ideas. What should we do? How riggy should it be? How effects-based should it be? I want to do the teleporter challenge soon, and I'm wondering if that should be live or not. I think it should be live, but maybe its own dedicated thing rather than right now. I just thought of Kirby with the Samus helmet. That might be a good idea. Because that could just be like a fun little like walk, snappy, bouncy thing. This is my first time on your channel. I subscribed instantly. I have a great what? Oh no, I don't know what the thing I'm doing well is. Okay, so I'm going to start writing down suggestions because we want to do like a half-hour fun moot. So first is Samus Kirby. That's a great one because it could be really just sort of bouncy and silly. The second option, and this sort of depends on there being some people with Harmony present in the chat. So that's why I think we should do this one a bit later, where I've sort of advertised it and we can get people along. And that is the Teleporter Challenge. The Teleporter Challenge is a compositing exercise using the node network. Using all of the node systems, I will show you how to build a teleportation effect. It's really cool, really fun, and there's so many different ways to approach it. So it's something that I want to get a lot of people involved in, and everyone can try it, because all of the different results of the teleporter challenge will look really different. And I think everyone will have an opportunity to learn different ways that the filter effects and compositing methods of Harmony can work. I think that's going to be really interesting. So do we do that now, or do we save it for where like everyone can like give it a crack? All right, other things. Give me some stupid stuff that I can try and animate in half an hour. Otherwise, we're going to default to Samus Kirby. Toad from Super Mario having tea with a white... What is a White Walker? I'm just going to write Toad having tea until you can clarify what that is. Toad with tea. Can you do polls in YouTube chat? Let me do that. Princess Peach turns into... Why is everyone suggesting Nintendo-related stuff? Is it because I've been enjoying Samus all day? Get more imaginative. Game of Thrones for... I've never seen Game of Thrones. Controversial. Sephiroth Smash Brothers meme. That character is way too detailed. No anime characters. They got too many lines in them. A square. Alright. That's a good one. I can animate a square in half an hour. It's gonna be... It'll be tough. It'll be really tough. But it's plausible. Square. Just you wait till you see what I can do with a square. Impact frames. That'll be a fun one. Because that's something that I'm not sure about. So like that could have mixed results. It'll be fun to watch me crash and burn on something, and it would fit well with the theme of today of, you know, like practicing inexperienced things, because like impact frames is like a very traditional thing. Like she would do some fire, she would do some lightning, some smoke perhaps. A tardigrade in a debate against a fern. I like it. Tardigrade debating a fern. Now that's got 2 characters in it, so you're asking a lot here. Bouncing ball, instead it's a square. Simpsons couch gag. How much do you think can be animated in half an hour? You've been watching the stream of me doing cleanup of that Samus. It took me like 45 minutes just to ink 2 frames. You think I can draw an entire family of 5 running, full body, sitting down, and then something out of the ordinary happening? Come on! Season 1 on Attack on Titan in 5 minutes. Okay. Now, when you phrase it like that... Sorry, someone just came by. When you phrase it like that, of doing that super, like, simple animation. Now, to make Season 1 Attack on Titan in a 5-minute video is one thing. Animating it from start to finish in 5 minutes is another. Tardigrade assessing the universe from a lectern of Ambassador. Okay, so imagination is certainly not a problem now. Now, if this becomes a thing that we do, regularly, maybe I should start simple and build up. Because like the bird one from last week, that was took me about 8 minutes from start to finish, and then the Magnemite, that took me like 2 days. Things get out of hand quick. So at the moment, I'm still leaning towards Samus Kirby. But I worry that I'm putting out too many videos involving Nintendo characters lately. Water splash animation. Okay, Nathan, keeping it... what's the right word here? Wait, I'm just writing Nathan. What's wrong with me? Water splash. This will be an interesting one. Because I feel like it warrants more a proper video. I'm going to need references and stuff. Or should I try and animate a water splash raw with no reference and see how bad things get? Impact frames, water splash, square. I think Samus Kirby will just be a fun, simple one. Raw water splash, exit the comfort zone. I'm feeling like people are leaning towards wanting to see a water splash with no reference. I would like to get jobs as an effects animator, you know. If I do this, then I'm exposing my incompetency, and that dream will never come true, and it will be your fault. My profile picture, funny you should mention that. I don't think you were here for last week's stream, but that's exactly what it is. Oh, I should show you guys before we get into it. Let me grab that. Sorry, just a sec. Because I finished it, by the way. It's really close to being finished. So any regular viewers, do you want to see? Do you want to see how it's turning out? Onion rig number 5. Check this out. I'm pretty happy with this. Meet the new onion. Where are you? There he is. Here's the setup so far. I still got to tidy things up and finish off the controller. I've written a page of notes on, I've done one video with him so far, and then wrote a ton of notes on things that I need to sort of fix and improve. But here's the control deck, and it can turn and look around like that. Look at that. Hey, looks all around. We've got an pupil control over here, so it can sort of turn and look. I think the eyelids are busted at the moment. Yeah, they stopped working. I'm not sure why. Something got disconnected somewhere. But there's a controller here, so it can sort of pick up at the feet, so it can jump up. And then here there is a toe lock control where I can turn that off and the feet will sort of spring up and down. And probably the most fun part is... oh, yeah, I should show off the mouth too. Down here there's a mouth controller where it can cycle through all of the different mouths and it can transition between happy and sad like that. Oh, hang on, the eyes are shut now. No, they're still not working. Oh well. Anyway, I wanted to show off how the spring works. Check this out. Ignore that the feet are up. Get down. So if I... oops. So if I have them here, then I just go a few frames down like this and then go to the side. It will automatically animate the bounce and the follow through and stuff. So it'll go, boo, like that. Ignore the contours disappearing. The exposure didn't go out all the way. But yeah, that's sort of the plan, is that there's lots of automated parts to it, because I don't really have the time to do full-on attention to animation for YouTube videos. I need to be able to get the stuff out quick. So yeah, with these controls, I can do that. It's nearly there, Anyway, where were we? Michael Bay animated short, just 90 seconds of stuff blowing up, and then a hero in a wife beater delivers a one-liner. You have a good sense of humor. So far, I don't have a grab on how the master control works. It's an advanced feature. Getting things going are relatively straightforward, but then it gets deep quick. I could do a little master controller demo now, or I could do one of these. We spent enough time looking at all this, so I think we'll just jump into one. And personally, I'm leaning towards Samus, Kirby, and Tardigrade debating a fern. But I'm getting the vibe from chat that you guys want to see me attempt a water splash with no reference or experience in it, just to watch me suffer. And for some reason, you think that's going to be more entertaining when it's just going to be me drawing badly. So there's only a handful of people watching, so I don't think we really need to make a proper poll per se. Just sort of like, just say what you want in there. There's currently still about 30 watching, but it's going up and down all the time, so it's probably a different 30 than it was 10 minutes ago. But there's only about half a dozen people actively chatting. So if you are one of those watchers, feel free to, or I encourage you to make a vote. Because if you intend to stick around, probably suggest the thing you want to see. All right. EE says, we love suffering. Koto PZ says, water splash sounds interesting. That's 3 for suffering. All right, here we go.
So far, 3 points for that. I'm going to give it another 30 seconds. Oh my god, you guys suck. Why do I hang out with you? I suffer for your entertainment. That's 5 for Splash. Come on. Come on, don't some of you want to see Kirby? Please? Please? Everyone who does art, I guess. It is grueling as it is rewarding at times. Oh, that's reply to EE saying we love suffering. Hilarious. Dude, it's a way for you to train. Oh. Oh, you're trying to reassure me. Sorry, Kirby. Onion, just do the... Wait. Onion should just talk like this. Oh, no. No. Onion is not going full uwu. Please don't make me do that. This is my training arc. Alright. Alright. When you put it like that. Water Splash it is. With no reference. No experience. Just experimenting with it. With hopefully your help. Hopefully you guys won't just be sitting on the sideline laughing while I embarrass myself. But please offer suggestions or criticism along the way. I've read a decent amount of... what's the book called? There's the book all about effects animation. Oh, I forgot what it's called. It's a really famous one. And the main thing that I've gotten out of it so far is that you're just meant to go out and observe nature a lot until it all sinks in. So far, I haven't seen anything about technique in the same way that like Animator's survival kit goes into it. But I think it relies a little bit more on straight ahead or actually taking... Yeah, elemental magic. That's the one. Thank you. Yeah, do we go straight ahead? Can it have keyframes? I don't know. I have no idea on what the standard methods are for this. So I'm going to take a wild punt and just go for a super thick brush. And rather than going for outlines, I'm going to try and draw with volume and mass and see how we go. Because it's going to... I'm procrastinating. We'll just be sitting on a blank page for the rest of the day. So let's say that there's a drop that's moving down. Down. Impact, right? Impact. Whoa. Oh, it's so thick. It's so thick. Okay. So splash, right? Splash higher. This is entertaining. Oh boy, how exciting. Does it get wider? Or does it just go up? I can't remember. Oh my god. Okay, no, it goes out. It goes out because it forms ripples. Of course it goes out. So maybe I'll just like let's animate ripples going out first. Like this. Yeah. And that won't just be the ripple, but it will be like the volume of the splash. So let's grab another color and make it a yellow just for the sake of being able to see it. Paint behind on, and I'm gonna do let's do this. I need to make this transparent. I need to be able to see my onion skin as I'm doing this. Okay. Out. No, it needs to go out like that. Would it really go? Would it go as high as that? Does it have that shape to it? Oh man, This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. Why are you making me do this? It looks like a web. Would it go straight across? I'm just going to do it as a volume for now. This is a nightmare. This is like one of those dreams where you like go to school with your pants down. Okay, that needs to go higher, I guess. Because like then like everything sort of like has to like ease off and then fall, right? But like water breaks up, so like it would separate from the bottom like this and then be a series of drops. And then each drop falls as a unison blob back to the ground. All right, you ready? Watch this. Prepare to be awestruck. Oh jeez, I feel like I kind of was on the right track, and then I just gave up for the meme. Hey Onion, can you make your suffering a bit more audible? This is not satisfying yet. Wait, my audio didn't turn off, did it? I think I would spark into tinier droplets, just not just one big thing. Yeah, you reckon? It looks more like an explosion. Like, oh yeah. It does look more like an explosion. Because it's like rippling out like a shockwave. Alright, well, this is my first attempt. Let's try again. I'm going to do it. We're not going to refine that. We're just going to have a second go at this. Like a crown, because the main body of water stays intact, but some streets are shooting beyond the inherent holding powers. See, I want to do a really nice keyframe first, but I've been forbidden to look at reference. So, what do I do? I guess it depends on the impact of the splash as well. Like, the first one was like drawn with as a drop, but the size of the splash was like a huge weight had gone in. So do we want to have that wall of water? Is it going to... Okay, let's try this. Let's try this. Do an imaginary keyframe at first where maybe there's like something splashing up like this. Like it's sort of uneven, right? Is that how it goes? Am I allowed to have maybe a couple of you have reference up on my behalf, and you can walk me through this verbally? How about that? Would that count as cheating on this? Ironically, I think I can do a single drop, all right. Like if we had a drop that was going like sorry, just like dripping like this, and then it you know how like it sort of breaks up, like that kind of thing is all right, because then like everything always goes into being round. And then you just in between the crap out of that like this. I mean, you got to actually have it falling as well, which for some reason this isn't. What is wrong with me? I feel like gravity's a thing. Jeez. Whatever. What? No. Do I continue to even practice a drop? That flings over, and then it goes.
Wait. Like that. So the tail's getting shorter, but that's because this is happening. Where it's sort of breaking off like that. And then you commit to each one as it flies across like this. You can sort of skip each bit around. It's easier for like ambers and sparks because then they sort of dissipate into nothing. Water, you don't really get away with that because it has to commit to going somewhere. From what I understand. Okay. Third attempt. Okay. Instead of spiky, it curves out, I think. Not a water splash, but more a WMD dropping into an ocean. After you're done, go check out Bird Karma animation process. The water is impressive. All right, I will have to do that. I'm going to open it in a new tab now, just in case. Where were we? Where's my chat gone? Here we go. Why would you disallow that? That's like hanging about to dry. Thank you for fighting on my behalf. Try without the wave on top. Drops drop down from the surface. Bends into the water. Ripples emerge. The drop gets launched back up into the air as the ripples continue. Oh, of course, it does like that double sploosh, doesn't it? How do I have perfect line art control? Well, if you're here earlier, Nathan, seeing me inking the Samus, you'll notice that each one of those lines took about 20 attempts. I'm only getting away with it here because I'm drawing a really, really, really thick line. Also, I've done a lot of cleanup in my time, and I've gotten very used to drawing straight lines or whatever. All right, yeah. Okay, so there's the this that splashes do, right? I remember how they sort of come back and like everything sort of sweeps up again like that after the initial splash. Okay. So, ding, ding. Oh man. So let's break this up. I'll do one more attempt, then I'm allowed to get some reference, please. I need to have something for the thumbnail. Splash. Drawing. Okay. Let's give up on the whole thick pen idea and go back to drawing the outlines. Maybe that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. Let's have thick lines. 2,000. Calm down. 200 was too thick. Double sploosh. First impact, first ripples. Then the ripples of 2 or 3 have a sphere emerges in the middle again. So I don't know if I'm overthinking it or underthinking it. But I hope the lesson of the day here is please don't be ashamed to use reference. Because this is a nightmare. Alright, let's go 50 so we can have a little bit of dimension to the impact zone where things sort of move up like this on either side. I'm going to exaggerate it because I don't care. And then maybe have it break off. What am I doing? It's just like some weird morph now. Huh. No. Let's try... So there's no way to rig this stuff. This is what... alright. Because like a basic wave could be one thing. Where like a wave comes up and then crashes over itself. But I really just want to get that standard sploosh. I can't give up. TF believes in me. It's like, can you even rough something like this out? Have a bit of a template? I don't see why not. Let's have our ripple zone. Like this. Okay. Now I'm not drawing blind. And we can have something splash into that. And maybe there can be keyframes for something like this. So if it goes down, and then it would... then it would what? Let's try having that initial ring of sploosh. That would be somewhat shaped like this. If we were to do it geometrically, it would be sort of wavy, I guess. But I'm ignoring if there would be like other bits on top. This is really hard to imagine. Damn. Because like that implies that it would move down like this. But I know that it needs to come back into the middle so that there can be the this that happens later. This is a fool's errand. I can't do this. I just can't do this. I need a... Please someone send a reference. I need to find something. I want you to succeed for the betterest that we paid for. But I don't think I'm getting any closer. I need to see something so that I can like break it down. Like we'll do one from reference and then I'll do another one afterwards without it. How does that sound? Like I'm YouTubing something. I'm YouTubing something, okay? Water splash effect. What do we get? Sound effect. I mean, a sound effect gives me like that. Maybe like a still image could be. Hey, it's me. A still image could be interesting. A splash effect. No. Does anyone know of a good one that I could find? Water splash animation. Okay, there's a full tutorial. That's overkill. Learn this trick before you animate water. I'll follow a tutorial later. I think I just need to see a finished one. Oh, Stylus Rumble has done one. That could be useful. She is the best. Okay, so here's this guy. Green screen is life. Lots of cool examples here. And I get like this is sort of what I was going for in like these first examples where there's like an up to it, and it looks like it is moving pretty sensibly. So I hope I'm allowed to sort of just do a breakdown study of this. But let's just look at the first one and just really break it down. So they did a rock, so that's probably already lesson one. Like I did a drop of water, which would have a very different impact and weight to it, right? Oh, no, come back. What did I do? Scroll down too far. Okay. Hey, this is turning into an impromptu read between the frames. Why not? Okay, impact, immediate transition. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going up. Interestingly, these first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're all in ones, and then it switches to being in twos. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then it looks like it stays in twos for the rest of it. Back we go. So it seems to be all about the speed up and slow down. And I was on sort of the right path of wanting to draw this sort of shape. And for some reason, I thought it had to expand outwards, and I was definitely wrong about that. The thing that I was really struggling with was where does gravity come into the equation and start to break up this form and bring it down. And I was sort of imagining this whitewash thing here, and I was really uncertain as to where do these streaks appear. Are they separate? Are they together? Okay. Having these holes in it and a back end seems to be really important as well. And 1 or 2 of these streaks going up high enough that it will break into individual portions and then fall back down as little bits. Okay. And then, I mean, the ripples are fairly straightforward. I'm not too worried about that. Each one of them having their own little splash, though. This is interesting. Check this little bit out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's possible to do the entire effect really simply. So I might start with just practicing a little one like that rather than the whole shebang. There's 2 minutes worth of examples though. Is this the same one over and over again? It is. It's just repeated. Okay. And then there was a second one a little bit later. I think that one probably looks a bit cooler, but it was a bit different to the how I was imagining it. That first one was really close to what I was going for. So we'll try that. All right. I'm going to put that off to the side for now and sort of just... How do I... Where do I draw the balance now as to what I can and can't look at? Should I be like, okay, I've had my practice time, and now we... all right, now let's do one more just having looked at it, and then I can't keep looking at it. Then we'll do one that's properly side by side. Yeah, I know there's nothing bad in reference, Nathan, but everyone was saying do it without because suffering is fun, and I contrast that suffering was not fun because it just resulted in mediocre results. The entire ring plops down, energy goes out, but create inside as well. Little ripple at the beginning, then big wave down to create the big ripple. I think that's actually an example straight from the book. Do you reckon? The streaks elevate in the main body of water. The wave is still being part of the body as a whole, whereas the streaks are only parts to break free. All right. So, rock goes fall. Rock goes splash. I think I am going to want to do a key, and I'm gonna have the dang reference up. I don't care. All right. So it only stays solid for a brief moment before it starts to crack. So we need to imagine that gravity is sort of already at play, and we've got quite a bit. So it doesn't go wavy all the way across. That doesn't have life to it.
It's got long portions, goes all the way in. Okay. Yeah, that's already looking a bit nicer, isn't it? And it's got the holes in there. We need to have the little bits sort of flying off. Yeah. I mean, it's still going to look pretty crummy because of how it is just like a rough or whatever. But one thing that I really like is like the streaks on the inside. It's already got lots of drops sort of going everywhere. You got to count for every single one, huh? Get that more wobbly. All right. So hopefully with that as a main key, we can do a little bit more. Shape is really important though. I don't think I'm going to get away with just having random streaks. I think I need to thin some of these out and give them their proper form than just pretending that random ass streaks are going to work. Okay. Alright. So, the frame before it, if it's a breakdown frame, I'm guessing, I'm still trying to keep to the rules a little bit, by the way. I've only got that one keyframe as reference open on the side, and I'm trying to avoid looking at the other ones for now, just for the sake of it. Then maybe I'll do a few proper ones off camera. We'll see. But I'll try and get that shape there, just like... No, I take it back. I don't care. I'm using the reference the whole way through. Everyone shut up. Let's put it here. I hope whoever made this is cool with me using it. I mean, it's a green screen animation. It says share and subscribe. It's all about it being learning material. I noticed some... Actually, let's have a look at their channel. Should probably promote them a bit. They've got 3K subscribers, and they need more for making cool reference like this. And I noticed a Bluey one, and anyone who's doing Bluey deserves love. Yeah, everyone loves Bluey. Yeah, cool channel. Anyway, all right. So, oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that it actually becomes more even as it goes on. Look at this first frame, how extreme that spike is to those ones, and they're all really sharp. My one's already pretty loose, isn't it? Get out of here. Go away. So it needs to be quite a bit thinner, but it's just like really sharp and well-defined shapes. It's very explosion-like, isn't it? Super thin. I hope anyone who is also an animator is having a go at this as well. Good opportunity to learn together if you want to figure out more effects stuff. That's so weird. Like, that doesn't look like water yet. I'm probably doing it too big. Like, that first frame is pretty small. Remember, there's like five in-betweens or more. How many was there again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before it gets up to that big point. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that's probably like the most impactful one. Like, check out how high that drop is. But that first one has no drops coming off at all. So it looks like this frame is probably where most of the fun should happen. So my biggest impact streak is right, the one on the very edge there. So maybe, like, if need to have the arcs right, so that drop should probably be already all the way up here. think I need to get Starless Rumble back on. Do a collab video together where she can show me the stuff a bit more directly. That is garbage. Look how flat that is. Don't make it flat. Flat is bad. Deliberate imperfections. Lots of arcs. Lots of high and low bits. That bit low. That bit high. Yeah. That's the ticket. Have that already all the way up there. Carve its edges off. This isn't exactly what I had in mind for a Moot, by the way. I was intending to make something that I could do. Like, after struggling with the Samus for so long, I wanted to do something I would be confident in and I could show off a little bit. Make something from start to finish in a few minutes. Instead, I'm just roughing an effect that I have no skill in. I can't even keep up with the pace. You're like a gunslinger with the hotkeys and sketches and frame by frames and whatnot. Really? Cool. But I can already say that this was the most entertaining and educational breakfast of the year for me. Fantastic. I'm glad that my very chill, not actually intended to be entertaining stream was a little bit entertaining. Hey, looking at the thumbnail up there, this actually looks like a splash a little bit. Hooray! Alright, how... Okay, it doesn't get that much... Mine gets way too wide. That radius at the bottom changes heaps. This one doesn't... I mean, it does grow a lot, but... It's more like it's... Golly, I don't know. I don't think that amount of distance can be justified. I mean, and then it gets all the way out to there. That's not okay. It needs to already be wider. But that's probably too wide. When we're experimenting, we're allowed to muck around with shapes. The question is, if I break this off into its own video, I'm going to have to take this venture quite a bit further so that there can be a conclusion where I've actually learnt something. Okay. That seems somewhat acceptable. That shape is way too wide though. Carve that in. Carve that right in. I'm fulfilled with life after making Onion do ooh talk for 2 words, and you're dead to me now. I hope it was worth it. Okay, let's bring that out. Okay, these keyframes are... They're okay. They're okay. That one needs to come in. Like that. Cut that in. I think we need another couple of... No. This is all very even across there. I'm ignoring the... Maybe just a drop like that could solve it. Alright, let's experiment with gravity. How does the gravity start to work? Because there are quite a number of in-betweens to really slow that down. Hopefully that's not too tricky to sort of break it up into its little components or whatever. But most of the spread comes into it when it starts to fall, which is surprising. I would have thought when the gravity took over it would pretty much just fall straight down. But check out how much distance there is in this drop. It moves all the way out. So there is a constant, like it goes up and then out. So maybe something that will help would be not just the layer of form of the ground, but rather angle of arcs. because, that's one of the most important things. Maybe this is how you rig water. It's just setting up the fourth dimensional skeleton, if you will. Yeah. Up you go. Out you go. Is that enough? I don't think so, because there also needs to be like a that, I reckon, of how the water goes up. Oh, it's a little bit too far to the side. But this jig here looks like it's going to be very handy. What else does this jig need? It needs the standard ground. Just so we can sort of see how it will ripple. Maybe a horizon as well will help. That's way too high. Horizon there. Okay, I like that. All right, water. What have you got for me now? Like, it takes a while for it to start to collapse, huh? But then about here, it really waves out. So maybe that's another thing I need to sort of jig in, is how this shape, which starts quite V and sharp, over time we're going to be getting fairly wide. So maybe all I really need to keep in mind is at any given point, it's sort of like that, and in the middle, the V comes down. But we've got to figure out how that V changes shape over time, because at this frame it's like this, which is pretty nuts. And then later on, it's going to be only like that, which is pretty shallow. So I guess if that's going up that high, then the middle would only be going up. See, it doesn't really get a V though, because it's directly towards the camera. I wonder if I can plot it out fourth dimensionally. Kind of like virtual pegs. Like if we've got so like one. Now let's check this out. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're pretty fast. So if we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, fairly even, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then gravity speeds back up for it to go out again. So we go out, 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 like that. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're getting a little bit of a timing chart going this way, which I was unsure if we could do timing charts on effects like this. Why am I doing crosses? That's not how timing charts work. I'm meant to be doing dashes. That's how it's been getting done for like a whole century. Screw it. They're in there now. Okay. So this one, let's do a pretend arc. That's going to go this way. But this is going to be fairly straight. But likewise, it needs to have its... So if we're on frame 4 now, and frame 4 is... Damn, I did it again. 4. 4 is here. So where was our frame 1? Frame 1 for us is here. 2, let's say 3 is there. So 4, 7 is the peak, I think that's too high. That's too high. We want our frame 7 to be about there. So let's say that's 7. So but then again, that's all moving fairly slowly, and then the ease starts. So if that's even and then the ease starts, so 5, 6, that means the top, if we're being consistent, must go about here. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we get down to about 11. Oh, comes down fast. Because that means we've only got 10 there. All right. Will that be enough of a framework for us? Am I over or under engineering this? Let's find out. Blue. Bit. Oh yeah, let's make it a nice dark blue so we can see what we're doing. All right. So, frame 1 is, yeah, arcing to there. Frame 2, 3, no, that's 3, 4. Yeah, so that's frame 4. So we want to pop one more. That's pretty much a direct in between into there. Just sort of get the main basic shape in first. Like that. Might even come back to get the drops in proper later. Nah, screw it. Do it now. Do things properly. Well, that's not quite even. Drops, drops, drops. All right. You're trying to make water reminds me of when I tried to animate wavy things. I'm getting that vibe as well. That did cross my mind. It's sort of like documenting a study in a way, and then showing the results. I found it to be a really effective way to practice, though. I do that kind of thing a lot on my own. But the weird thing is, like, rather than just like reading a book. It's just like this sort of trial by fire method. All right. So let's write these down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so 4. And then things really slow down. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. It really does sort of peak before it starts going out, huh? So that means things will be still fairly straight, but starting to get more crooked by number 7. Let's pop that one in now. So it's starting to see things get a little bit more wavy, it looks like. Wavy. That's very cone-shaped, is that right? Yeah, that seems to be about right. But we've got... My shape is a lot more in. So that can come up to about here. So is this the height of my wave or the height of my drops? Let's try this. Let's see what happens. That doesn't quite look right, does it? Especially this piece. Oh, I know why. Maybe it's because I'm not following my damn guide. And, you know,
proper shapes in there. Am I talking too quietly, by the way? I apologize. It's starting to get a bit late here. It's 10:45 now, so we've been going for quite a while. But let me know if you need me to speak up at all. I don't want to be getting too mellow or boring. 10:45? 8, 9, 10, 3 hours. Goodness. God, it's so much easier to stay focused when you have to be in presentation mode. All right. That does not look right. But maybe I should put in one of those like breaks or something. Seven, 8. All right. I'm going to skip ahead to frame. See, 11 is like the end. It's like it's already splashed. So let's do frame 10, the one before it, where things are going to be. That's going to be my equivalent of this frame, I think. So things have really started to break out to the side, and everything is in lots of little bits and whatever. Zedrin's here. Good to see you, man. Good all effects animation, aka pain. Yes, I have little to no experience with this kind of thing, so I'm embarrassing myself. Do you like it? Drops are higher than the wave. Yes. Never knew this kind of pain existed, honestly. Dude, I think you sound fine. Maybe a little louder would be better, but it's kind of soothing. Okay, that's good. Because you get it into your mind to, like that YouTuber presentation style. And if you're not being like, hey guys, what's up? Like, comment, subscribe, smash the button. Is like, am I doing something wrong if I'm not behaving like that? I don't know if I want to behave like that. I did a parody of that presentation style many years ago. I'm not sure if any of you have been around that long. Where I did a whole tutorial with that vibe. And it's very like cringe on purpose, but I was really happy with it because it still functions as an actual tutorial. Like there are things to gain from it, which I think is hilarious. Okay, so those pieces there, that piece, oh no, that's still far too wide. That needs to just be a drop by that point. Lots of drops breaking off. Oops. Okay. That mass is still very wide. It's actually more connected now than it was then. That doesn't feel right. Like it needs to start being more broken down by this stage. But then it just starts to look like some sort of weird claw. Okay, that's kind of working. All right, so now 7, 8, 9. All right, now we can just sort of start in betweening it, I guess. I'm gonna put in some of the basic frame of it, and then really get into the like I think I'll do straight ahead on some of the droplets and things. All right, so 10 is there for that. This is probably the most direct in between of all of these shapes. So I think even just that will do for now. 8 is a lot closer to 7 than it is to 9. So that needs to go about there. Ooh. Yeah, 8's like right up there. Like this. 4, 5. Okay, so 5 and 6 are the only ones missing from there. Managed to get through that pretty quickly then, huh? So all we need to do for these ones is they're fairly direct. So I'll just quickly go in. This is going to be fairly quick and dirty, but I think it's getting to the point where we need to start wrapping things up. And we may come back to this. Like, this is definitely worth fleshing out with a proper video to sort of document the process. And especially if I can get a professional effects animator on here to really critique it. Like, I think it could be really beneficial to see what notes I get. What are the mistakes that I'm really not seeing? And if I was to do another one under their supervision, or if they even were to do one here, what could Senpai teach us all, you know? Wasn't it the videos that were overhyped on some simple tips? I think I remember those. Yeah. Zadrin says, I usually like to focus on effects, especially liquids, on one drop ripple side at a time personally. Okay. Makes it a bit easier to avoid forgetting things. Yeah, so that's sort of my theory now with this. Like, I've got the main body in there. So, what are they? They very suddenly become nothing, huh? So I'm going to finish getting sort of the main body of everything in. And then go straight ahead on the droplets and see how that goes. My guide actually shows 11 being all the way down there, which I don't know if that makes sense because it's lower than the ground. So it looks like my charts weren't ideal. Oh, but hang on. This is not forming the shape of ripples either. So it doesn't really collapse into a sensible shape. Because by this point we should really clearly be seeing the back end. And I have completely neglected the back end. So maybe that needs to be looking more like this or something. I kind of want to bail on the landing. Maybe something like this. Alright. Let's quickly expand everything out to 2s. Watch it through a couple of times. I feel like, what do you reckon? It's okay up until about the halfway point, and then it doesn't look like water anymore. Maybe it's because I start to neglect the water droplets, but that looks more like some sort of rigid cloth is opening. Let's commit and just look at do some straight ahead on those drops, and then call it a day. And we'll come back with someone who knows what they're talking about to just tear me apart, just absolutely destroy me. I think that would be great. I would love that. Oh, I made a mistake by doing all those water drops on number 10,
Because now... Whoa. See? Alright. I'm looking forward to this one. Let's see how this goes. So that goes right up. And we got big splashes there. Lots of long streaks. And then... I think my timing's wrong there. It feels like that's almost speeds up. We don't get the really nice, satisfying slowdown that the reference has. It's like this needs to be right up there with the green. That doesn't exist near the green at all, so that needs to already be pretty up close to it as well, like this. So there we go. That's better. Yeah. So that's getting ready to break. Let's thin out those parts there. No, I'm struggling. Because by this point, I think we should probably be broken up into droplets. Maybe. Ooh. Don't need those. And then we start to fall. So like that drop, move out like this. Oh boy. Okay. I'm getting tired. Let's turn that off. See where we're at. Okay, in threes, it's not too awful. I mean, it still vanishes without a trace here, so maybe I'll just sort of throw some ripples in around the base form and have that dissipate real quick. Something like that. Okay, there we go. So now it's actually disappearing. Zoom in so you can all see it. Okay. I can see a bunch of notes for myself. I think I'm going to write them all down, and I'm going to show this to a few people, get their notes written down, and I think then, between all of that, we should all have some decent stuff to be able to learn from. But for a first attempt, it's pretty rubbish. Almost 5 a.m. for Zedrin. He must go to bed. 5 a.m. Animators are crazy. Why do we never sleep? Organic stuff is... oh, hang on. I'm going to just put this on the nicest frame for the sake of our closing conversation. I suggest maybe getting rid of 8. That's a good note. Is that this one? Yeah, that one's pretty gross. Organic stuff is so hard to make it look natural. It's really difficult to make water look like water. From the people I know who are really good at this, the way they got there was just like brute force. Like it's just practicing it. So to expect to be
great on my first crack is, like I'm happy with this. Yeah. So hopefully with a bit of practice and a bit of mentorship, my own journey may be beneficial to some of you guys as well. I hope that's the goal of like broadcasting, deliberate practices and things that are deliberately not quite that good. I think it can be a bit demotivating when every artist on the internet is only posting their best work. I could just be showing off my onion guy here and be like, look at me, everyone, look what I can do. But no, that's boring. I need to get good at other stuff. But seriously, look at my onion dude. Yeah. Sit down. Yeah. I need to turn the spring off. Whoa. Actually, I had a bit of a problem with this guy. Because I have this double mouth system that I sort of innovated where notice that the mouth will bend depending on the angle, which is cross-compatible with each mouth shape. So if I sort of put it like that and then tilt it down to here, it'll still sort of like tilt in a little bit. But watch what happens when I go into render mode. It does not like it. It does not like it at all. And we get some really scary shapes. Ah! Ah! Actually, there was a really terrifying one down here somewhere. Oh my god. Anyway, back to my trash. Oh no, I got a better idea. In closing conversations, I should be puppeteering this guy live. So it's like the little goodbye conversation. So thank you for coming. Like, comment, and subscribe. All right. Frame 9. No, hang on. I need to scroll up. One sec. It's really difficult to make water look like water. It's in a bottle. It's definitely more simple. Water in a bottle is more simple, as in like animating like a bottle splooshing around, you say. Interesting. Frames 9 and 10. Water doesn't expand in a linear fashion towards the end because it's still held back by the attraction of the main body. Interesting. You could just straight ahead that is, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So the expanse on the x-axis slows down. This spreads a bit like a sheet. But when you have these sort of realistic splashes, they can be a lot to keep track of. It does feel that way. Otherwise, spot on from my humble point of view. Thank you very much. It looks nice for a first try, right? I hope so. Before I go, what's the intervals of the live stream? What do you mean? I'm sorry, I'm not quite following. Oh, hold on. Those master controllers, right? This is my real jam. This is why I have a lot of work to do in catching up on traditional effects, because this is where I spend most of my time going, whoa! Oh, right. Okay, good question on how often I stream and do videos. I'm still in a bit of an experimental phase. I want to be doing them in the morning of yesterday. So in about 36 hours ago from right now is when I would like to be streaming on a weekly basis, doing the more sort of like active ones, sort of like the second half of this stream where I was doing the water. That's sort of the jam, something a bit more interactive, I suppose. And whether or not I do a second stream that's more chill, like the Samus portion, is sort of, if I feel like it. We'll get a bit more of a routine down in probably a couple of weeks, and then I'll probably do a community post about that, so you know when to sort of tune in if you're the kind of person that actually wants to put that sort of thing aside in your schedule. Meanwhile, edited actual videos, they currently come out on a Friday my time. I'm not sure what time that would be for wherever you are. I suppose just check the release of the last couple of videos. Hang on, I'm going over to my channel right now. How do I get there? Your channel. Here we go. Yeah, so these are the last couple of them. So I don't really know what else to say about them, really. But this stuff is coming out every week at the same time. Like, those are scheduled in. The next one is ready to go. It's scheduled, so it comes out in like a day and a half-ish, I think. And then the next one's coming up after that, where I'm doing this really cool skeleton thing. For those who have stuck around to the very end of this stream, I will quickly show you that. Because I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's so ridiculous. Where'd it go? Onion skin, moments, I'm finished. Rigid floppy. Oh, what? This is just my video captures. I haven't got the actual thing in there. Oh no. Maybe I haven't got it. Maybe we can't show it today. I posted a GIF about it on my Twitter a couple of weeks ago. It's fun. Trust me. Jonathan Kumba says, hello there. I apologize. You've caught me right at the very end. We're just sort of wrapping things up now and, saying goodbye. Last little conversational bit. You could puppeteer it live with 2 hands if you had a flight joystick and a Joytoki. This could be a super quick way of animating. Well, I've been trying to sort of move this swing around here while we're sort of talking right now. Unfortunately, Toon Boom's not really built for that. All of these parts would get keyframed separately. But I'm pretty happy with some of the extra controls I put in, like the toe lock here. Like, that's a handmade control. Notice how it sort of highlights and changes color as it moves around. And pick up and move him around. Anyway, yeah, sorry, Jonathan. But I guess go back to the beginning. This was quite a big stream in the end. Quite a lot happened. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Again, it being a very late night for many people. I hope it was right. Please send your feedback on how we can refine it. Everything was very improvised and we mucked around a lot. So thank you very much for joining me, everyone. New video in a day and a bit. And no, I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow morning. Because I really wanted to do the big ol' exciting one. And I promised it many times during today's stream, so I don't think I'm allowed to bail on that now. I accidentally committed myself because I'm a fool. So check back in about 11 hours. We're going to be doing this again. This is probably a bad idea. And I'm going to tease that theme as well, because I suck at actually calling it. But tomorrow's stream is... Where did I put the thing? Hang on. I need to pull this aside. Tomorrow's stream is going to be the Straight Ahead Challenge. Ooh. I encourage you to participate if you're an animator or have any software. It doesn't matter which one. This is something I've done once before. Come on, Harmony, speed up. Come on. Okay, here we go. Straight Ahead Live. Ooh, exciting. And if you want a bit of a prelude as to what that is all about, check out this video, this one here. Animating straight ahead is a disaster. Try it. I'm going to be doing that again, but with some refined rules, so it can be a bit more of a thing that other people can try. A couple of people have tried it already, and the results were great, and I want to do another one. And it should be a fun thing for everyone to try together, and then at the end of that stream, other people who are doing it alongside, we can swap notes and compare and watch them all. I think that will be really fun. So it's about having to draw straight ahead, no flipping, no onion skinning. Once you press next, you are committed, and it's about getting the most interesting thing out possible, while not really knowing what's going to happen next. You have to improvise. Yeah. Tiath says, a productive stream. You ventured outside your comfort zone and emerged with an acceptable product. We're proud. Thank you for your support, Tiath. It's been very wonderful having you here. You've been here the whole time and have been incredibly interactive. It's been great getting to know you a bit better. Shebby, however, says that I make them cry. Am I glad? Hope to see you soon. Copy the link to the straight ahead design. I don't think I can paste links, I'm afraid. Getting damn ads. Oops. Oh, maybe I can. I wasn't allowed to paste links last time. There we go. Yeah, so give that a watch. Come back in about 11 hours from now, which is 10 a.m. my time, whatever that means. And it will be a bit of a shorter stream than this. It'll be about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But should be good fun. Nezha says, do Twitch. Well, I do YouTube. It's the same thing. There isn't really anyone on my Twitch. I don't think anyone will find me there. We get a decent number of people here to interact with. And I'm all about having people around to have a conversation with while we make stuff. All right. I've been saying goodbye for about 15 minutes. So thanks, everyone. I'm going to call it now. Have a good night. Get plenty of rest. I will see you in the morning. Good night.